Let's go on our roads. It's another day in what appears to be one of the country's biggest problems. It's what we'll be putting our attention on. Already, government has announced the deployment of speed cameras and other technologies as part of wide-ranging measures to address the carnage on Ghana's roads. It is part of recommendations made by the Interministerial Committee put together by President Akufo-Addo to look into last year's accident, which claimed many lives. We're only some few days away from Easter, and we must continue our campaign to reduce road accidents here on the Pulse. I have here in the studio Kwame Kodua-Echiahene. He's head of communications with the National Road Safety Commission. He's no stranger to the show at all. Mr. Kodua, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to do a very quick interview with you about what the report is. What is the update? We've had this conversation over and over again. Recently, we had one. What's the update as far as road safety is concerned? What's new at the Commission?
What's new is that we have just launched our Easter campaign sometime last week at Ankemo in the central region. At the same event, which outdoored the 8 emergency first aid posts. With the assistance of the World Bank, and also we handed those over to the Ghana Red Cross Society. In the coming days, we plan to go around to see how it's being put to use in order to manage existing gaps and also make some try to improve their use if there are any challenges that our vessels. But traditionally, you notice that when we are getting towards these festive seasons, there's always increased in motorization levels, and these result in increase in the risk factors that lead to accident across the country.
So how would this new campaign change things?
What would change this time is that we have the assistance, we have deployed. We have partnered the NAPCO initiative, and thankfully they have agreed to assist our manpower challenges with some 300 personnel across the country.
Okay.
So
NAPCO is giving you 300 people.
Yes.
And what exactly will these 300 people be doing?
Yes, we're going to deploy them at major traffic terminals, transport terminals across the country. They're going to engage directly with drivers and also passengers. We're going to see more of them at strategic locations and corridors across the country. On the Accra Kumasi, Accra Takrady, Aflawo, those areas that are considered flash spots for these festive seasons. And also at the terminal. In fact, that is very critical for us. We think that drivers have every reason to act in ways that do not lead to these crashes, but they need to be, the message needs to be reinforced. In the past, we have not had the pleasure of numbers, but with this partnership, we are certain that the numbers will improve, and we're going to see, the public is going to see more of the Commission at these locations.
And finally, just to find out, one of the things that we're beginning to realize is that when it rains, it becomes difficult for people to get through the rains. And sometimes, I mean, yesterday, for example, not more distance, some information, but at that point, when are people going to get that information? Is there anything that has been done, because we are in the rainy season already, anything being done by the National Road Safety Commission as far as driving in the rainy season is concerned?
Yes, it's part of our focus for engagement during this period to get drivers to slow down and to drive in response to the changing weather condition. For instance, the motorway is set out for you to do 100 kilometers per hour, and you get into a situation where the lights are down, visibility is very poor, the roads are heavy, you are required to reduce your speed as much as possible to be able to use such stretch. But I think that we need to do, all of us, we need to...
Yeah, I mean, all of us is the easy way out, yeah. But we're not looking for the easy way out. We're looking for the solutions being preferred by the people that we're paying to do the job.
Yes.
So rainy season, is there any specific interventions from the National Road Safety Commission, for example?
What we can, for our side, within the constraints and the mandate.
Well, maybe it hasn't come up yet, but now that we've raised it, what can you do?
No, it has. I mean, you see, we use the road as well. I live in Tema, and
Did you use the motorway yesterday?
Yes, I did not. Yesterday I was home. But watching the feed, I've gone through the experience before. There was a time I used the motorway, it rained, and it was very terrible trying to get home. So I can feel the constraint that users go through on that stretch. That's why I'm saying that beyond what we do and the duty we have to ourselves, I think our collaborators, the thing about the motorway is to try to improve the level of visibility. Okay.
Is that what you're doing? Is that a plan?
Yes, we have engaged the relevant agencies, the Ghana Highway Authority, and the assemblies that have much to do with the street lights. But until that is done, we want to urge drivers to be careful, especially during the rainy seasons, especially at night.
Well, they will be careful, but if they have the things that makes it easier, street lights, markings, you know, the things that makes it easier for them not to kill themselves on the road, that will be good.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's out of our hand. I mean,
but you can put it in your hands.
Yes, if it's something that we are able to do.
I think there is something that you can do.
What can we do? I mean,
but you tell us. We pay you to tell us the solutions to the problem.
Unfortunately, this is
make that your wrap-up comment.
Yes. We all need to renew our commitment. So, in as much as we step up our sensitization, other public agencies that have a share of the responsibility to help the public use the roads and use them safely must also scale up. And in this context, you'll imagine that the Ghana Highway Authority and the road sector agencies would do a bit more to improve visibility on our roads. Very
well. I hope so. Perhaps if there was enough visibility on that road last night, those people would not have died. Mr. Tuahene, thank you very much. Kwame Kodia Tuahene is the Director of Communications of the National Road Safety Commission. They have a plan for the Easter, and we're hoping that there will be a plan for the rainy season as well. Thank you very much for coming once again.